Well, this topic is the Hungarian Revolt, 1956, and it's from the AQA History GCSE unit on the Cold War, 1945 to 72. Well, the Hungarian Revolt is an interesting situation, but before we start on that, I just want to kind of lay out a bit of a foundation. Hungary was taken over by the Red Army after World War II, and there were not free and fair elections, and effectively communism was foisted on Hungary against its wishes. The leader of the Soviet Union at the time was Joseph Stalin, and I often think that communism gets a free pass when it comes to the atrocities it committed. Stalin particularly was an outrageous tyrant who killed millions of people and oppressed hundreds of millions of people. We rightly criticise Hitler and Nazism for its conduct, but seem to give communism a free pass, as I say, when it comes to criticism and censure. This should not be the case. Communism, like Nazism, rejected the idea of God and embraced a godless world in which there was really anything goes, triumph of the will, and the result was catastrophic. Well, when Khrushchev becomes leader of the Soviet Union, and I have a lot of time for Khrushchev, he decides to overturn this regime that Stalin had set up and create something that was a bit more livable with. Unfortunately and predictably, the consequences of that was the gradual disintegration of Soviet control in Poland to some extent, but more particularly in Hungary. And the resulting revolt that took place towards the end of 1956 in October, the Soviets could not control initially. And when the Soviets did take back control, the results were brutal. Nagy, who was the new leader, was killed, and thousands, if not 20,000 more, Hungarians were killed during the suppression of the revolt, and 200,000 fled. The response of the USA was to do nothing particularly, because that was consistent with the Truman Doctrine, which was if a country was under Soviet control, then the United States would merely contain the situation, not try to take back countries. And again, the United Nations could do nothing because the Soviets had a veto, and also they were preoccupied with the Suez Crisis. So the Hungarian Revolt ultimately caused the Hungarian people to live under oppression for a number of years until 1989.